And here we are again, one soft, cozy little as-ever video later, and the internet has turned into a digital stampede over a pair of jeans and some earrings. Not a movie premiere, not a red carpet, not a palace balcony appearance, not a giant campaign rollout with fireworks and 12 celebrity endorsements, just Meghan existing in a beautifully curated video for as ever. That was enough. The second that reel dropped, fashion watchers immediately started zooming in like FBI agents assigned to the Department of Expensive Denim. People wanted the earrings, people wanted the jeans, people wanted the entire aesthetic, and suddenly brands were finding themselves drowning in attention simply because Meghan wore their pieces for approximately 5 seconds while looking peaceful and unbothered. That is influence. Not manufactured hype, not forced virality, not please clap energy. Organic influence, the kind brands dream about while burning through millions in marketing budgets trying to create even half this level of excitement. Let's start with the jeans, because honestly, these jeans have had a more dramatic week than some royal correspondents. Meghan was seen wearing the Upper Village jeans from Tracy James' collection in that As Ever video, and almost immediately, people began hunting them down online. The jeans are relaxed, wide leg, cuffed at the hem, effortlessly chic, and very much in line with Meghan's signature California luxury style. And suddenly, sold out. Flooding orders, traffic surges, fashion pages talking about demand, social media accounts posting about the frenzy. Imagine being Tracy James' collection for a second. You're running your fashion brand, things are moving along, you're doing your work. Then one day, Meghan Sussex appears wearing your jeans while casually existing near fruit bowls and garden aesthetics, and suddenly your customer traffic starts behaving like Beyoncé announced a surprise concert in a parking lot. That has to feel surreal. And what makes this especially interesting is that Meghan's style influence works differently from traditional celebrity fashion influence. A lot of celebrity fashion marketing feels overly calculated now. Every outfit comes with 20 tagged products, coordinated sponsorships, strategic paparazzi shots, affiliate links, what I wore today breakdowns, and enough branding to make you feel like you accidentally walked into a corporate presentation. Meghan's effect feels more natural. People see her wearing something and think, wait, that actually looks good. That feels wearable. That feels relaxed. That feels elegant without trying too hard. And that's important because effortless style is the hardest thing to manufacture. Anybody can wear expensive clothes. Not everyone can make expensive clothes look approachable. That's Meghan's real fashion superpower. She makes luxury feel human. The jeans themselves are a perfect example. They're not flashy, they're not screaming for attention, there's no giant logo slapped across the back begging strangers for validation. They're understated, relaxed, cool, comfortable, modern. And because Meghan styled them in such a natural way, people could instantly imagine themselves wearing them too. That psychological connection matters enormously in fashion. People don't just buy clothing because it looks nice. They buy clothing because of how it makes them imagine themselves feeling. And Meghan's aesthetic lately has become deeply tied to this idea of calm luxury. Not performative wealth, not look how rich I am, not hyper-styled perfection. Instead, it's soft mornings, natural fabrics, simple jewelry, good denim, fresh food, sunlight, neutral tones, peace. That entire atmosphere has become part of her brand identity now. And honestly, it's smart. Because people are exhausted. The world feels loud all the time. Everyone's arguing. Every app is screaming. Every trend lasts 12 minutes before getting replaced by another trend invented by somebody who owns 17 ring lights and drinks iced coffee like it's a personality trait. So when Meghan presents the softer, calmer, aesthetically warm version of luxury living, people gravitate toward it. Not because it feels unattainable, because it feels emotionally comforting. And the earrings sparked the exact same reaction. The Ulla Johnson mini spiral stone earrings Meghan wore in the video suddenly became a hot topic among fashion watchers. People were searching for them immediately after the reel dropped. Again, think about the power of that for a second. A short lifestyle video creates enough attention that viewers are identifying jewelry pieces within hours and rushing to find them online. That is not normal celebrity influence. That is cultural influence. And I think part of the reason Meghan's fashion impact remains so strong is because she doesn't overexpose herself. Scarcity matters. You don't see Meghan posting 50 outfit selfies every day. You don't see constant sponsored content. You don't see endless product pushing. So when she does appear, people pay attention. Every visual becomes an event. Every detail gets analyzed. Every item becomes desirable. That level of audience attention is incredibly valuable in the fashion world because attention itself is currency now. Brands spend insane amounts of money trying to capture public attention for even 10 seconds. Meanwhile, Meghan uploads one cozy reel, and suddenly denim inventory starts evaporating across the internet. Human civilization really said, forget economic indicators, let's measure market confidence through Meghan's earrings. And honestly, fair enough. It's not just, I want those jeans, it's, I want that feeling. That distinction changes everything, because when people begin associating you with a feeling rather than just products, your influence becomes much harder to fade. Meghan's current image is strongly connected to ease, warmth, California elegance, soft luxury, authenticity, domestic calm, natural beauty. Whether people love her or criticize her, the branding itself is incredibly cohesive now. And cohesive branding is powerful because it creates trust. People know what emotional experience they're getting. That's one reason As Ever has generated so much curiosity. The visuals are consistent, the tone is consistent, the aesthetic feels intentional without feeling robotic. There's a softness to it that people miss in modern celebrity culture. Everything now is usually louder, faster, more aggressive, more performative. Meanwhile, Meghan is over there arranging flowers, wearing relaxed denim, and making tea look cinematic. And somehow it works. Actually, no, not somehow. It works because audiences are craving sincerity. That's the deeper lesson brands should probably study here, instead of desperately trying to manufacture viral moments with focus groups and trend reports written by people who say words like synergy with a straight face. People respond to emotional authenticity, and Meghan's recent content feels emotionally coherent. Even the way she dresses supports that image. The Tracy James jeans weren't chosen because they looked aggressively trendy. They fit the mood. Relaxed but elevated. Comfortable but polished. Casual but luxurious. The earrings did the same thing. Nothing felt overdone. And ironically, that restraint is what makes everything more desirable. Luxury today is shifting away from obvious status symbols. The new aspiration is ease. Looking expensive without looking exhausting. Looking polished without appearing like you spent 14 hours trapped inside a glam squad survival bunker. That's why Meghan's fashion choices resonate so strongly with so many women. The styling feels adaptable to real life. You can imagine wearing those jeans to brunch, to travel, to work remotely from a beautiful cafe while pretending to answer emails, but actually scrolling TikTok for 40 minutes. Humanity's finest achievement. And because the look feels emotionally accessible, people engage with it more enthusiastically. Another important point here is how social media has transformed celebrity fashion influence. Years ago, magazines controlled the narrative around celebrity style almost entirely. Now, one Instagram reel can trigger global shopping trends in real time. Fashion detectives immediately identify products, accounts repost details, fans create breakdowns, fashion pages amplify the buzz, TikTok creators discuss styling, orders spike. The entire cycle happens within hours. And Meghan remains uniquely effective in that ecosystem because her visuals are incredibly shareable. Everything is aesthetically clean, warmly lit, simple, elegant. That matters online. People don't just consume content anymore, they curate identities through the content they share. Sharing Meghan's aesthetic becomes part of sharing a certain aspirational lifestyle image. Peaceful mornings, natural beauty, soft luxury, intentional living. That's why the response feels bigger than ordinary celebrity shopping hype. It taps into lifestyle aspiration. And let's be honest here, fashion brands love this kind of attention because it's the dream scenario. No scandal, no forced promotion, no awkward ad campaign, just genuine, organic demand. Marketing executives were probably staring at analytics dashboards like, wait, what do you mean the jeans are disappearing? Somewhere, a warehouse employee is probably packing denim while whispering, who is Meghan and why is she destroying our inventory? Bless them. But I also think there's something refreshing about the fact that Meghan's influence remains strongest in spaces connected with creativity, lifestyle, wellness, and fashion. Because those spaces actually align naturally with her public image now. She seems most comfortable when presenting things that feel personal rather than overly institutional, and audiences can sense that comfort. That's another reason these as-ever visuals resonate. Nothing feels forced. You're not watching someone trying desperately to convince you they're relatable while standing inside a mansion worth more than several national budgets. The tone feels intimate instead of performative. That emotional intimacy matters enormously in digital branding. People follow personalities now more than products, and Meghan's current brand personality is becoming increasingly defined by warmth, calmness, elegance, and understated confidence. The fashion simply reinforces those themes. Even her color palettes support it. Soft whites, denim blues, natural textures, earthy tones. Everything visually communicates ease. Which again is fascinating because modern luxury branding is increasingly moving toward emotional minimalism. Consumers are tired of obvious excess. Quiet confidence is becoming more aspirational than flashy status displays. And Meghan embodies that shift very effectively. The Tracy Janes jeans situation proves it perfectly. These weren't outrageous statement cants designed purely for shock value. They were simple, beautifully cut jeans styled naturally, and yet they generated enormous demand. That's influence built on trust rather than spectacle. People trust Meghan's eye for style because her choices feel consistent. Consistency builds authority. Authority builds influence. Influence drives demand. It's actually a very sophisticated form of branding when you step back and analyze it properly. And honestly, the as-ever rollout overall has been smarter than many people expected. Instead of overloading audiences with aggressive promotion, Meghan has focused on atmosphere. That's a very modern strategy. People don't just buy products anymore, they buy worlds. Apple sells simplicity. Nike sells motivation. Luxury hotels sell escape. And Meghan's brand increasingly sells emotional softness. A slower life, a warmer life, a calmer life. The fashion becomes part of that emotional architecture, which is why viewers aren't simply reacting to jeans and earrings. They're reacting to the feeling those items represent inside Meghan's carefully curated visual world. And because that world feels aesthetically coherent, people want pieces of it. That's branding at its strongest, not forcing desire, creating emotional resonance. There's also something undeniably impressive about how Meghan continues influencing fashion trends across completely different phases of her public life. Actress Meghan influenced fashion, royal Meghan influenced fashion, California Meghan influences fashion. The environment's changed, the style evolved, but the audience engaged. That kind of longevity is difficult. Fashion influence is notoriously fragile because trends move quickly and public attention moves even faster. Yet Meghan continues generating retail impact years into one of the most intensely scrutinized public lives imaginable. That says something significant about her connection with audiences, especially women consumers. Because at the end of the day, fashion influence only survives if people genuinely trust your taste. And people clearly do. Otherwise, brands wouldn't keep experiencing these dramatic sellout waves every time Meghan appears in something visually compelling. The funniest part is how effortless she makes it look. No frantic selling, no obvious campaigning, no desperate influencer energy. Just, here's a glimpse of my life, here's a soft little aesthetic moment, here's some denim. Good luck to retail inventory everywhere. Honestly, iconic behavior. And the Tracy James collection response itself has been interesting too, because you can tell the brand understands the significance of the moment. When fashion labels suddenly experience massive attention spikes connected to a celebrity appearance, there's always a temptation to over-commercialize it immediately. But the smartest brands lean into the excitement while still maintaining authenticity. Because authenticity is exactly what made the attention happen in the first place. That's another lesson here. Organic influence cannot be copied mechanically. You can imitate aesthetics, you can imitate styling, you can imitate branding language, but genuine audience connection? That's much harder. And Meghan has spent years building an emotional relationship with supporters who feel connected to her style evolution, her personal story, and her overall energy. So when she shares even small glimpses of her world, audiences respond intensely because they already feel emotionally invested. That emotional investment translates directly into cultural influence, which translates into sales, which translates into sold-out jeans and disappearing earrings. Capitalism with a side of curated garden-core elegance. Humanity continues to amaze me. But beyond commerce, there's also something genuinely fun about seeing fashion excitement happen this organically. People enjoy discovering pieces through real moments. Not every trend needs to emerge from massive advertising campaigns. Sometimes a woman wearing good denim in a peaceful Instagram reel is enough to set the internet on fire. And honestly, that feels far more interesting because it reminds us that personal style still matters more than marketing budgets. Meghan's fashion power doesn't come from screaming the loudest. It comes from making people feel something. Ease, warmth, confidence, calm, effortless beauty. That emotional reaction is why the Meghan effect continues surviving every attempt to declare it over. Because real influence isn't measured by noise, it's measured by response. And when jeans sell out after a few seconds of screen time, the response speaks for itself.